On this week's show, Liberty golfer Isaac Simmons takes his game to the U.S. Open, and we take you back to the early days of LU field hockey.
Plus, Flames baller Kyle Rode talks about his role for the upcoming season. Also, we hit the Legos with Lemmi. This is Flame Central.
From the links to the diamond, the pitch, the courts, the track, yeah, we cover it all on this week's Flame Central. Welcome inside our palatial studios for another great show. As always, I'm Matt. She's Emily.
Always has to change the script to the bigger words. No slowing down for the summer around here. We can't wait to take you out of the office for a Lego lesson in just a bit, plus an incredible story on Liberty Sprint coach Pete McFadden. But first, we hit the links.
Absolutely. What an experience this past weekend for Liberty golfer Isaac Simmons as he had the chance to play in one of golf's great events, the U.S. Open. Simmons became just the second Liberty player ever to play in the U.S. Open. It's one of golf's great events, of course. It's also year in, year out one of golf's most difficult challenges. Los Angeles Country Club proved to be that for everyone in the field. As for Simmons, he would shoot back-to-back 77s. That would not be good enough to make the cut, but still served as an incredible experience for Isaac and a great moment, certainly, for Liberty Golf.
I would probably shoot both those scores on the first round.
Right.
Anyway, to the diamond. We all remember that historic end to the Liberty softball season when the Lady Flames eliminated number 2 UCLA in regional play. And it seems like D1Softball.com took notice because Liberty was ranked number 25 in the national poll following the conclusion of the 2023 season. This marks the second time LU has appeared in the top 25 end-of-season national rankings. Liberty recorded 40 wins on the year while setting program single-season records with 4 wins over top 25 teams and 16 games against top 25 opponents. Another women's program reaching historic heights as of late is Liberty Field Hockey. But that success wasn't necessarily around when former Lady Flame Emily Dinsmore was a part of the program. She was a part of those early days, helping to lay a foundation for the future of LU field hockey. And today, even though Emily may be on another sideline, she's still using those lessons learned on the mountain to lead her own program.
You want to know something? Because I'm mic'd up today. Yeah. It's like, people don't want to hear just like me talking about hockey, right? Like, they want funny. Yeah. You know? Guys, we got to give the people what they want. But I'm not very funny, so I don't know how to do that. Full corners, rolling. Full corners, full corners. Yeah. That was a rocket. Let's go. That was a rocket. I never really thought that head coaching would be in the cards for me, especially here at App. But I'm very thankful that this is what the Lord had for me. Being one of the founding members of Liberty Field Hockey and now here as a Division I head coach 10 years ago would not have ever even imagined this or dreamed this. Being able to kind of follow in the footsteps of the coaches from Liberty that, you know, mentored me and loved me and cared for me well, and to now be sitting in the same shoes that they were. Yeah, let's go up. Nice. Good touch, Claire. Crushing that backboard. There's pieces of wood flying off of it left and right.
You're teaching life through sport, right? You're leading people to Jesus through sport. It's about something so much bigger than what everyone's gonna evaluate you by and the results and things like that. So I think to have somebody that genuinely loves Jesus be leading another Division I program, I think it's outstanding. As soon as she got the job, like, whatever you need, because to be perfectly honest, becoming a head coach, no matter when it happens, whether you're 24 or 30, it's gonna be like drinking from a fire hose for quite some time because it's just a lot of new stuff. You haven't done it before. So for sure, as soon as she got him, like even before she did, just whatever you need. Hello. She's part of our coaching tree. She's part of our family. Anytime you have somebody go on from this place, whether they're representing us at the high school level, you know, as an assistant coach, head coach, D1, it's big time. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to train champions for Christ. That's the mission. That was Jody's mission before, you know, and that's obviously the school's mission. And to see somebody that loves Jesus get to go and lead another program is incredible.
definitely be a moment where it's gonna be like, wow, this is surreal. Like, this is where I played, and now here I am, 10 years post-grad as a head coach. I'll probably take a moment and before the game starts and just pray, where I've prayed many prayers on that field, and now the opportunity to kind of coach against them, to be on the same sideline as Nikki and Heather and Alan is just gonna be, it's just gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited just for the opportunities to compete against them. Coaching is definitely my mission field, and at the college level, you know, we're traveling, we're practicing every day, we're with one another often. It's such a great opportunity to use sports as an avenue to share about the Lord. Being able to share that with them is the greatest joy in coaching.
You know, you forget Liberty Field Hockey's still a pretty young program in general, and already now you're seeing that coaching tree develop, right? The players that were here, that learned the game here, that maybe grew to love the game in a new way. Now you're seeing them go on and lead their own programs. That's really cool to see.
Yeah, and Matt, we all knew that Coach Nikki was awesome, to begin with. But the fact that she's still so supportive and such a huge mentor to Emily, and they're on opposing sidelines, like they're competing against each other. It's still really, really neat to see that relationship is still strong.
Absolutely. All right, we shift gears now to the basketball court. The Flames will look a little bit different this year without one of the all-time greats and Darius McGee on the roster. To talk about it, we invited everyone's friend, Kyle Rode, on the Flames Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. The fifth-year returner, he's seen a lot during his time on the mountain, so he was the perfect guy to talk to about the changes to the roster and to his own role on the Flames.
How do you feel your role will be this year?
Yeah, I think the big 23-point gap with Darius being out is obviously is something to fill, right? But I think that's going to be by committee. I think with this new team, we have guys that we're bringing in as well that are going to contribute, and guys that have gotten better in our program. So I think for me, just continue to find ways to help us win, but also I do think there's going to be a level that all of us really have to take our game to the next level. And whatever that looks like, I'm prepared.
You know what he's trying to say right there? I'm going to score a lot more next time.
Yeah, that's another reason to come back. It's always
we'll see.
To hear our entire interview with Kyle, including his scouting report of every newcomer on this year's team, check out this week's Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. Each week, Emily, Joe Yock, and myself talk about the top stories in Liberty athletics while also interviewing the playmakers themselves. Find the podcast in all the usual podcast places, as well as on the Liberty Flames YouTube channel.
Some say it's the best podcast around, but who knows? When it comes to baseball, there seems to be a special kind of love and passion that never really goes away long after those playing days are over. Just ask Matt Warner, which is probably why many former players find a way to stay involved on or around the diamond when it's time to hang up those cleats. And as you're about to see, former Flame Matt Williams clearly still has that love for the game.
Following his collegiate career at Liberty, Matt Williams spent 7 seasons working his way through professional baseball, even making it as high as AAA. But when it came time to hang up his spikes, the last thing he wanted to do was walk away from the game.
The area scout who signed me, he was with the Cardinals. His name was Matt Blood, and he worked for Team USA when I was kind of towards the end of my career. He asked if I had any interest in getting into scouting. So I was like, yeah, actually, I probably would. And he was like, well, come down to this tournament with me. And I think I emptied out all my airline miles I built up through minor leagues just to get down there and meet a couple people. And the Twins happened to be one of them. It all just kind of worked out.
Matt would trade in his bat and glove for a radar gun and a notebook, as he's now an area scout for the Minnesota Twins, covering Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee, spending his days looking for the game's next star.
Obviously, you're looking at the physical tools and, do they fit their profile, whether it's corner, outfield, center field, shortstop, anything like that. But once you check all the physical stuff off, our job, at least mine as an area scout, is really kind of bear down on who they are as a person. I think that, you look all over this field and there's physical capabilities everywhere, but the guys that, ultimately make it are just wired the right way. And I think that's the most fun part of my job, is figuring out what makes some of these players tick. Do they possess what it takes to overcome adversity? Because once you get into pro ball, man, it's not as fun as sometimes it seems, and there's a lot of adversity to be dealt with, and can you handle failure the right way? And ultimately, that's what makes it
Being a scout, just like being a minor league ball player, means life on the road. For many, it can be a grind. For Matt, it's where he thrives.
It can be a grind if you let it. Anything can be a grind if you let it be that way, but I just really enjoy just being around baseball. So if you enjoy the game and you enjoy coming out here every day, you know, it kind of takes the grind part out of it. Like, yeah, the travel is tough, the time away from family is tough, but at the end of the day, I get to, you know, watch baseball and evaluate players for a living, and I couldn't be more excited to do it, honestly. Once I got into it, this is it. I absolutely love what I do.
From his time at Liberty,
hot shot up the middle, base hit center field,
to his time in the minors, looking back, it's clear that each stop in Matt's baseball journey was preparing him for the role he finds himself in today.
Every step along the way just led to another step, and you know, one door closed, another one opens, whether it was playing and transitioning to scouting. You know, I truly believe everything happened for a reason, and some doors were opened that I didn't really see, you know, would actually happen, and they did, and now I just couldn't be more excited to be here.
We'll take a quick break, but when we come back, the story of one Liberty track coach, his inspirational rise, and how he's impacting athletes today.
Plus, how do we connect the dots between Legos and tennis? You better stick around to find out.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do, and getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books, and an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
So you're looking for a university that's perfect for you, a school that has anything you could possibly need.
Anything?
You want a place that has the programs you want to study, and maybe a few more, just in case you change your mind.
I think I'm going to sign up for the fashion design program.
All right. A place with state-of-the-art facilities. I mean, look at this campus.
And who doesn't love big-time sports?
And great recreational activities.
Okay, now we're on a roll. Somewhere you can hike, slide, strike, shoot, climb, eat, and most importantly, eat. You want a place that takes you to space? Okay, maybe not, but we can teach you how to fly, or pastor a church, or run a business. And all that with a great view? Yeah, I think I know a place.
God's calling for your life can be specific. And at Liberty, we are committed to equipping you to pursue that calling. Choose from more than 350 unique programs of study, or design your own major through interdisciplinary studies, and be confident your major is the perfect fit. No matter how specific your calling, you'll find a program of study to match at Liberty University and become your best as a champion for Christ.
Hey, welcome back to Flames Central. We've talked a lot recently about Liberty's track and field success, and one of the coaches helping the Flames excel is associate head coach Pete McFadden. At a critical time in his life, it was a coach's words that completely altered his outlook, and now he's having the same impact on his athletes here at LU.
A small town in South Carolina is called Olathe, South Carolina. Real small town, not very big. Growing up, you know, It wasn't the best ideal situation growing up. We had a lot of tough times. My older brother, my younger brother, my sister, and I and my mom lived in a 2-bedroom shack.
As a young boy, Andrew Pete McFadden lost his dad in an automobile accident.
Losing your father, you think you lose your protection, you lose your guidance, you lose a person that's going to mentor you.
McFadden's mother, finding herself a single parent, had to work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. This left her little time at home with her children.
There was nobody that sit there to help us with homework. There was nobody here to tell us what to do. We learned on the go. She cooked us our meal. She cooked a meal every single day. The meal was on the stove. When we got home, we ate and did what we were supposed to do. And if we didn't do what we were supposed to do, when she got home, she let us know it.
Sports would be an escape for McFadden, with baseball being his first love. But during a game in the 10th grade, a nice grab would catch the eye of a coach from a different sport.
Saw me catch a ball that was directly over my head and asked me to come out and play football. So that's how the football career got started.
McFadden excelled on the gridiron at Lake City High School. In fact, his standout play would lead to a JUCO scholarship at a military school in Georgia.
I'm definitely in a whole different place, a whole different world, a whole different environment. And that was really difficult for me because that whole freshman year of there being at military school, I went from being best male athlete in my high school to sitting the bench the whole entire year. I played one play. At the end of that year, most people went home for the summer. I didn't go home. We didn't go home just because I kind of felt a little embarrassed because I didn't play any my freshman year.
Determined, McFadden put in the work in the offseason, and it paid off in a big way.
So I went from sitting the bench my freshman year and not playing at all to the MVP of my team my sophomore year. So I had some offers to Cincinnati, Wyoming. I had an offer even to Florida State.
But while visiting back home, his high school coach would offer some advice.
I told him I didn't know I was going yet. He's like, I want you to check out Liberty. I had no idea what Liberty was, who Liberty was, where Liberty was at.
McFadden ultimately chose the Flames. Just as his move to JUCO had been a difficult one, transitioning to life at a small Bible college took some getting used to.
At JUCO, you go from drill sergeants and people and coaches that just curse you out every single day till you come into a Liberty environment where they're telling you they love you every single day. And I'm like, hold on, all this love thing is a little too much.
An electric kick returner, McFadden ran his way into the record books for Liberty football. He'd also put his speed to good use as a sprinter on the track team. And it would be as a member of that squad where his faith would come to the forefront.
But I think they really just changed the culture of, who I was just coming to the track team. I just think they had a different kind of culture. Bible studies, the groups and stuff that they had people. They wanted to get closer to God. They wanted to learn more about God.
And that foundation, along with the support of his coaches, provided the encouragement McFadden needed. During a difficult time for his family back in South Carolina, McFadden was planning to quit school and go home to help. But an assistant coach stepped in.
She just pulled me to the side and she didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't feel sorry for me in that moment because I was thinking about quitting. She's like, what are you going to do when you go back home? Don't you think the best thing for you to do is finish school? That's the best thing you can do for your mom.
Tough love that left a lasting impression.
I think her telling me that, I could tell that was no games in that. I could tell that she wanted the best for me. And it really gave me an opportunity to really sit down and think about the decision I was going to make.
After graduating from Liberty, McFadden would end up working in the counseling field. But all that would change with one phone call.
Got a call from Coach Tozen, like, I got a job opening. I'm going to put it in the paper in a couple of days, but if you want it, it's yours now. I'm like, wow. I'm like, of course I want it.
Core tight, up tall, chest up.
And not long into his coaching career, God revealed to him his purpose as a coach.
When your kids come in here, their professors will change, their friends will change, their roommates may change. You'll be, as their coach, the most consistent thing in their lives for 4 years before they enter into the real world. What are you going to put into them? And that really changed the way I thought, changed the way I coached.
Encourage them as we practice today.
This new approach would be a blessing to former all-conference sprinter Abby Flower.
Before school, me and my friends, we would always go to Coach Pete's office. After school, if we didn't have a class or study hall, Coach Pete's office. So he was always there for us outside of the track.
Never more so than in the aftermath of a personal tragedy during Flower's junior season.
That experience just transformed her life and my life.
He just walked me through it, and there were days we'd go to the track and just walk in circles. And it was just stuff like that that really just, showed me like he cares more about me than just an athlete.
Let's go, Bryce. Let's go, Reed. Here we go.
More than just an athlete, God has guided Coach Pete McFadden from that 2-bedroom shack in rural South Carolina into a leadership role in the lives of many.
There you go, guys. Good job today. Give yourselves a hand.
It's a calling he doesn't take lightly.
We got better.
If they have not grown to the place they've got their degree, they're going to go out and be successful in their career. They're going to make a difference in their community. They're going to be good parents one day. If we have not instilled that in them, it doesn't matter what we do on the track, because that's what's going to last them a lifetime.
Good job. Here we go. Let's go, ladies. Here we go.
Still to come, are there life lessons in Legos? We go out of the office with a member of the Liberty Tennis program to find the answers. That's when Flame Central returns.
You know, as throughout my public career, we've had a bias toward hiring Liberty University graduates because for me, I believe in character hiring. We look for men and women of integrity who can come into our organization, whether it's our time at the White House or when I was governor or when I was in the Congress. And I truly do believe that one of the great things about Liberty University is it's training leaders, whether they will go and serve in government, whether they will go and serve in our military, whether they'll lead in business or in education or any whole range of professional occupations. For me, having men and women of integrity in public life is a hope of the nation. And when men and women of integrity rise into leaders of position, God blesses America. And my hope is that we'll see this rising generation here at Liberty University answer the call to serve.
Does education mean a room with 4 walls, a desk, and a PowerPoint lecture?
Or is it something bigger?
What if it's the people beside you, 1 chair away or 1 ocean away?
What if it's the chance to learn from your mistakes, as well as your victories?
And the push to keep going either way? What if it's the freedom to reach for bigger things without missing the little ones in between?
For each of us, education looks a bit different.
Because we're each a bit different.
But at Liberty, we think education might just mean something big enough for all of us. That's Liberty to us.
What will Liberty be to you?
Welcome back to the show. You know, there are many skills needed to successfully put together a Lego set. For me, it's a task I've yet to complete because I'm still looking around the house for that 2x4 orange brick after I opened a bag in 1996.
Wow, that is a long time ago. But hey, for other folks like tennis director of ops Gian Lemmi, it's a relaxing hobby to get away from the chaos of life. And he's also found it's a lot like tennis.
I love doing Legos because it has a specific step-by-step guideline, and sometimes life can just be a mess with so many things thrown at you with no guidelines, with no step-by-step procedures. But Legos give you pictures, not even words, so that anybody in the whole planet can put a set together. I got into Legos during the pandemic because everything stopped, and so I had a lot of free time in my hands. Harry Potter is built. I started every time we took a road trip with the tennis team, I would go to Target and just buy another Lego set. And that would help me build it during the plane rides. Sometimes people just like to sleep. I can't sleep on planes. So just pass the time on some of those long flights back to California or Texas. It's also part of the fun of Lego, trying to, you start with such little pieces. Sometimes you don't know what you're building until 10, 15 minutes later. But you just gotta faithfully follow the instructions. Almost like the Christian life sometimes, Sometimes you just don't know what's next, but you still gotta take that step of faith first to see what the result is gonna be. I always think, oh no, Lego missed a piece this time. Nope, I just can't find it. Building Lego sets can be complicated. You need patience and you need time. If you try to rush, you will be inclined to just skip some steps and then it won't turn out the way that you want to, and it'll be like putting an IKEA furniture set. You're gonna get to the end and you're like, wow, I still have these 15 pieces here missing. I probably need to go back and rebuild it all over. Legos have helped me figure out in my new career now as a director of operations that if you have systems in place and those are repeatable, you can build something over and over again that will be successful in the end. In my job, I'm the one who needs to go look for hotels, need to go look for restaurants and places to stay and where we're gonna play and figure out those logistics. I love Legos because they give me those directions to myself where I don't have to go out looking for them. The sound of the clicking of the pieces together is unlike any other. It's almost, I equate it to the hitting of a tennis ball. I played tennis and coached tennis my entire life. The sound that a ball makes when it hits your racket the right way, it's just as satisfying as when the pieces come together in a Lego set. And you get thousands of it during one big Lego set. Now we're talking. Success at the end of a Lego build is, first of all, the journey that it took you there, the time off from thinking about work or problems and family issues and those things. And as well as having a finished product that you can be proud of and you can show off to people.
Gian's an interesting dude, but on a plane, I would immediately drop a piece somewhere on the floor, and that would be the end of the Lego build.
Sounds like a disaster.
Yeah.
I can relate with him, though, with that IKEA furniture thing.
Yeah.
I always
have
have so many pieces left over.
Well, hey, we're about out of time this week. As always, for any stories you might have missed, LibertyFlamesCentral.com. Check it out.
And don't forget, download and subscribe to the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. We have a good time on that every Monday, so be sure to check that out. For Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.